La Isla Bonita. I think it means a little love, a little island of love. I think it does. Madonna there, Bay FM, the great sounds from way back in the 1980s, I think. Could be wrong. Someone will phone up and correct me. Madonna, that wonder herb, Bacopa manieri.
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah, we do. So we've got a couple of different brands. So like I was saying before, we tend to stock the brands that have the known active ingredients in them. So we've got one called Bramitone and we've got one called Bacopa. Maybe it's called Bacopa Complex. So we've got two different ones. They've got other co-ingredients in there with them, because one of the things that happens herbally is that when you do combine several herbs, you get lots more interactions. Herbs are really quite amazing like that. So instead of getting, say, 3 things with Bacopa, by the time you put 3 herbs together, you might get 20 positive effects in the body. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was thinking, my father, he died at the age of 93. Now, he was as sharp as a tack right up to the last hour. So I don't think, and Mum was the same too.
Yeah.
I don't think we have it genetically in our family.
Fabulous.
But you never know, some outside influence could trigger it off.
And then once again, it does tend to be, once we're looking at the genetic effects, it's the 80% of the stuff we have total control over, our lifestyle, that can impact on those genes. So it might be in your genes and your mum didn't have it and your dad didn't have it, but if you lived on a major road breathing in fumes all day, or went for a run along major highways every day, or there has to be a trigger, or if you got a big bad nasty virus that sort of wasn't under control. So we've got one called Bacopa Complex.
Yep.
And another one called Bramitone.
I thought Brahmi was an Indian meal.
Well, Bramitone has adrenal support in it as well, and this is the thing about practitioner products, rather than getting the one herb, because like we were talking about, stress can decrease your cognition as well. So when you actually combine Bacopa with things like withania, which is one of the ginsengs, and then things like B12, which is an important neuroprotective nutrient, you sort of just get more bang for your buck. Yeah,
I've always been for that. So they're available. You've got your ginseng and all the other. What are the other herbs you do sell there? Just quickly, briefly.
We've got like 200 herbs. So for things like memory, you would do a bit of people might come in for cramps, for example. So we would have things like cramp barks and prickly ash and that type of thing. If people comes in with pain, we've got herbs like Jamaican dogwood and once again, cramp bark, depends what the cause of it. We've got lots of herbs for the hormones. We've got lots of herbs for prostate issues. We've got lots of herbs for the gut.
At your local supermarket, they've got the little herbal display case up and multivitamins. Are they recommended?
I think everyone should be taking a multivitamin, but these days people's livers aren't as good as they should be. So once again, if you're getting a multi, it's a good idea to have activated B vitamins in them, because do you remember about 5 years ago there was a study saying that folate was bad for pregnancy?
Yes. No, folate's good, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, there's the inactive form and then there's the so basically folate, folinic acid, and then there's an MTHFR version. So basically it sort of gets better and better the more activated it gets. So these days what they're finding is that if someone has a genetic mutation called an MTHFR gene, which is common for people to go and check if they've got autism or ASD or ADHD, or if they've got infertility issues, or if they're having chronic miscarriages, or if they've got chronic fatigue. So the MTHFR genetic mutation is something doctors can check. And basically, if you've got that, you need activated B vitamins. So normal B vitamins that aren't activated can actually impact negatively on those people.
I won't mention the name. There was a cereal brand that used to advertise in the morning with folate. I don't know what brand it was, but that would have been the inactive, I guess.
Yeah, and once again, going back 20 years ago, they didn't know this about folate. So it's as the research gets better. So what we did 20 years ago, and our livers would have been better 20 years ago.
Why did it come out of our diet in the first place?
Because of processing. So basically the longer we cook things, the more we process things, the more white stuff, the more coffee, the more, basically the more we freeze things, how much, once again, shop in the perimeter of the supermarket. As soon as we're having a lot of our diet with processed things, anything with a shelf life.
Yep.
If it's got a long shelf life, it's been
What about that long
change
life
somehow.
milk? If you go camping, go and get your long life milk. UHT, I think they
It
call
is. I am not a fan. Once again, what have they done to it to make it long
drink
life?
Black tea, drink black coffee. It's
Yeah,
better.
you know.
And there was good news in the paper the other day. Coffee is good for you, but you must stop at around about 3 cups a day.
That's right. Yeah. So once again, coffee is one of those things because it's a stimulant. It stimulates many processes in your body, but some people are highly sensitive. So having said that, some people can't have it, or they'll be on the loo, or they'll be anxious, or or they'll have tummy griping and upset. Yeah. So it's the same thing as everything. Just because research, I'll go, okay, I can have 3 cups of coffee a day. That's what research says. But for me, it might give me cramps, or for me, it might give me headaches, or make me sleepless. So it's worth, yes.
So
It's always good to see that it's good for us, but pay attention to your body.
So apart from all those vitamins and herbal tonics you have down there, kinesiology is another practice.
Absolutely.
Tell me about kinesiology.
Yeah, so Georgia and I both do a process called LEAP. LEAP is the Learning Enhancement Acupressure Program. And I've actually got a couple of little video clips of it on our YouTube channel at New Leaf Health Team. But anyway, so LEAP is a process that's been developed by Dr. Charles Krebs. He had 10% frontal brain damage in the 80s, so quite a while ago, and he's in his late 70s now. And he developed this process to help reintegrate people's brains. So basically what he found was that because stress deteriorates the memory centre, he found a combination of acupuncture points that once you activate them, they can re-stimulate pathways in the brain. So with the kinesiology, you can find the emotion that's shutting down a certain part of the brain. You can find whether there's deep survival patterns that are shutting down your frontal cortex, stopping you from being able to think and remember and put together
It's getting bigger and bigger.
It is.
Kinesiology.
It
I know
is.
my friend over in Belgium, she gets it regularly because she gets severe back pain, and she swears by it.
Yeah.
She feels so good afterwards.
Well, there must be a bit of an interest because we've only had our YouTube channel up since August and we've had 350,000 views. Now, a lot of people are naysayers and just on there, to be trolls and that sort of thing. But nonetheless, there's a lot of people out there who are desperate for help with their health. And the medical system is not working for them. Some people are so sensitive, they can't take lots of drugs. So basically people are looking for answers, and kinesiology really is something that can start turning things around. So whether or not it's your balance, because once again there's a process we do called NOT, neural organisational technique, that's a structural balancing process. So that one's a combination of chirophysio and kinesiology. So it was developed by Dr. Carl Ferrari. He was a chiropractor for 40 years and just got sick to death and don't forget, he was trained a million years ago. So he was trained in click, click, crack, crack, get him back 3 times a week. So he got sick to death of doing that. And when he started studying kinesiology, he went, wow, there's more to the body than, and then he really developed this process called NOT, and that helped the balancing that he was doing with the cracking hold longer. So people didn't need to come in 3 times a week.
A lesson for everyone there is not to have tunnel vision when it comes to your health.
Yeah.
Don't just believe in the one road to travel down. There's many roads.
Yeah, and find what works for you.
Yeah.
And it's like meditation and yoga and Pilates and all of those sort of things. There's more and more research showing that they help blood pressure, they help cognition, they help our happiness. So if you're not waking up feeling happy a lot of the time, what's going on in your life that you could change? What is there that we can do to help you
wake
out?
up in the morning and begrudge the thought of having to go into work again. I hate it there. I hate work. Oh, the boss is cruel. Look, Madonna, we've run out of time, and we won't be chatting. But
no, 3 months.
No, 2 months. I'll be back 2 months, I hope. But if you ask me to stay, I'll cancel everything and stay. But hey, great chatting.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in probably July sometime.
Yeah, beautiful.
And 94 Edith Street, Wynnum.
Absolutely.
And the telephone number for New Leaf Natural Therapies is
3348 6098.
And I've got to drop in and get another bottle of ginseng before I go away. I'm going to have a separate suitcase, I think. For the tablets. Oh my God. New Leaf Natural Therapies, they're a great bunch of people. Get down and see them.